Good evening, you're watching London Live News with Reya El-Salahi. It's 6 o'clock and coming up on this evening's show. Tackling London's homeless crisis, charities across the capital joined forces in the hope of putting an end to rough sleeping. An online petition's been launched opposing planned changes to Bexley Youth Services. Tonight, protesters are gathering outside the council's civic offices and will be live with the latest.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taken and no giving.
And live a cappella music as American quintet Home Free perform in the studio. But first, let's take a look at some of the stories making headlines across the capital this evening. The boyfriend of ex-EastEnders actress Sian Blakes agreed to return to the UK during an appearance at court in Ghana today. Arthur Simpson Kent disappeared days before Ms Blake and their 2 young sons went missing in December. A murder investigation was launched when their bodies were found buried in their Erith garden earlier this month. Police have released footage of a university lecturer moments before he was murdered on his way to work last Tuesday morning. Daniel Young was stabbed close to Morden Tube. The video shows him walking along Dorset Road towards Kender Gardens, where he was attacked. 2 men have been arrested and released on bail.
A Facebook group saw around 2,500 people invited to this event, which was described as not a rave, but an opportunity for people to fight for the right to party, to hold free parties, free warehouse raves specifically across London. Now, this, of course, comes after a number of high-profile cases in which unlicensed raves have been shut down by police across London, something police say they will continue to do as long as these parties are illegal. As you can see this evening, a huge police presence in Shoreditch tonight, where over the course of the past hour or so, police have been attempting to disperse the crowds here. Crowds who have come, they say, for a harmless night of partying, to show their support of illegal raves and to protest for the right to hold them, to stage them across the capital. Things seem to have calmed down in the past 15 minutes or so, and the vast majority of the crowds have now dispersed from Shoreditch, just outside the High Street. A spokesperson for the Mets told London Live News that police are aware of a pre-planned protest. Attempts by the Met's police liaison team to engage with the organisers have so far been unsuccessful. We should say London Live News has also attempted to contact the organisers of this event, describe themselves as Acid City, and they say they're a non-profit organisation. We've not had any luck in hearing back. However, back to the present state, and things seem to have quietened down quite a bit, despite there being a pretty huge amount of police here in Shoreditch this evening. I should say, despite the look of things, Shoreditch High Street Overground Station is still open to the public, both to come in and to leave the station. But as things continue, it does seem as though there's still a few people sticking around in the hope, by the looks of it, of continuing this protest tonight.
The theatre is your pulpit, it's your church, and you want to be a priest in your church, and that's what I believe in. So that's why I find it difficult to contact the younger actors. So
the up-and-coming British actors at the moment aren't getting enough of the stage experience, in your view?
Unfortunately not, because this develops your vocal cords, your gestures, your mannerisms, your timing, your intellectual grasp on what you're doing. They don't do that. They just do maybe a few stage plays, maybe 2, maybe 3, and then there's some casting person thinks, oh, you're young and pretty, throw you into a TV series. Most of them are useless. And so we don't really have, unfortunately, some young great actors today, like we used to have Laurence Olivier or John Gielgud or Ralph Richardson or Alec Guinness or Albert Finney or Peter O'Toole. Zilch. There are 1 or 2 and they're trying their best, but it's a small territory.
It's a potentially damning indictment of the future of British acting talent in that case.
Yes, absolutely. There is no future.
Welcome back to London Live News. And the London Critics Circle Film Awards is underway in the capital tonight. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet are just some of the stars on the red carpet at the 36th annual ceremony. And Reya El-Salahi is with them in Mayfair. So, Reya, any sign of Leo at all?
Afraid not. We're keeping our eyes peeled, however. We hear that he is due on the red carpet here at the Mayfair Hotel any minute, so fingers crossed. But that said, stars of the big screen walking the red carpet for the 36th annual gala taking place in the capital this evening. And earlier I caught up with one of the nominees, Asif Kapadia, the director of the much-lauded film Amy.
I think people like Amy. Amy has such a kind of emotional response, you know, with the audiences, because we already know her songs, we know about her, but hopefully what the film does is tell you the real person, the girl before she became famous, which most of us were not aware of. And she's funny, she's intelligent, she's beautiful. There's so much about her, everyone falls in love again. But this time I think we have more empathy and more feeling for her. And we're less judgmental, hopefully, at the end of the film than maybe some of us were when she was alive.
That said, how surprised were you by the family's reaction to the film?
I think we just tried to show the real story. I tried to do my best. I did a lot of homework. I spoke to a lot of people. I'm not trying to pick on anyone, but I felt it was important to show the complexity of life around Amy. And I think, like, one person has said they're not happy with some of the film, but most of the film is about her. And I think the main thing I get is that the audience and everyone that knew her says, you're showing the world the real Amy. That's what I wanted to do.
That's all we've got time for this lunchtime. Luke Blackwell's back with London Live News at 6 o'clock this evening. Do have a great afternoon.